Next is Lonnie or Looney White. Due to allocated time, you have 10 minutes.
Good morning. My name is Lonnie Joseph White IV, and I go by Think Peace Tribe online. I'm a public library worker, 21 years old, in the DeKalb County Public Library System, and a senior sociology student at Morehouse College, class of 2026. I was supposed to be at Atlanta City Hall on that stage today to represent the Higher Education and Prisons program centered at Morehouse College and the Andrew Young Center.
Our Higher Education and Prisons program is considered a centerpiece of the Andrew Young Center. I say that because it is the perfect opportunity for Morehouse College to extend its unique mission and its unique curriculum into our community.
The United States locks up more people per capita than any other nation in the world. Georgia Department of Corrections says that 2 out of 3 incarcerated individuals in Georgia will return to prison within 5 years. But if you add higher education, those students who receive sustained courses, say the equivalent of an associate's degree, the number drops to 13% nationally. And for those who receive a bachelor's degree in prison, the number drops to 5%.
Teaching at Metro Reentry, in the fall, was one of the most extraordinary experiences I have had as a professor in my life. The thing that was so remarkable to me at the end of the day is how much it affected me. So you go on thinking like you're going to make impact, you want to make impact, you're nervous that you won't, and then you come out and you realize you're the one who probably got the greatest gift.
In this role as a prison education ambassador, I go into the systems, with the faculty, and just talk to the incarcerated individuals about education, how they can further themselves, and that there is still much that they can do while they're in the system. So when I found out about this initiative that Morehouse had, I instantly knew that this is what I wanted to do, that it was for me.
There is something hugely gratifying having the opportunity to teach at Morehouse. Teaching at the prison, though, is also very special, given that these are typically individuals that feel that they have been maligned by the educational system. For them, having the opportunity to take college-level courses from instructors from Morehouse is a dream come true. So they take it very seriously because this is something that they thought that they would not have.
If you have knowledge of yourself, knowledge of your history, knowledge of your culture, it empowers you.
Everyone has potential, and education enables you to explore your potential, challenges your thoughts. You can explore your inventory of ideas and grow upon them. You're not also learning by yourself, you're learning with others. And it's through others that help you see your own potential.
Education is definitely a deterrent to crime. I want to say that outright. Because again, I can't express this enough, that you can want to do better, but if you don't have the knowledge, you don't know how. I wanted to distance myself from my past. I wanted to create opportunities for myself. And if I didn't learn anything, how was I going to do it?
It's an audacious experiment. It attempts to take a space that is really used to punish people and turn it into an emancipatory space where people can feel free to hope and dream, to discover themselves and prepare themselves for returning into their respective communities.
I've always asked myself the question over 7-8 years that I was a part of the BPI program, where are the HBCUs? And I think back to the history of HBCUs and how they came into being. From what I've read, the HBCUs were meant to help formerly enslaved people gain a foothold in society. The closest parallel to formerly enslaved people today, I think, are incarcerated people. And if HBCUs aren't leading the movement of college and prison programming, then they're not holding up to that mission. Like, we have to continue that fight.
Respectfully, I'm at City Hall today for a different reason. Cornelius Taylor was crushed to death by the city of Atlanta on January 16th, 2025 by way of a bulldozer trying to push away homeless encampments for an MLK Day celebration. I'm gonna repeat that, an MLK Day celebration. The city of Atlanta didn't check under the tents before moving them because they lack any empathy for the impoverished people of Atlanta who just so happen to be 80% black. What does this say about the black bourgeoisie class? What would E. Franklin Frazier say about this? Well, good thing for us, we already have the answer. Quote, when the opportunity has been present, the black bourgeoisie has exploited the Negro masses as ruthlessly as have whites. As the intellectual leaders in the Negro community, they have never dared think beyond a narrow, opportunistic philosophy that provided a rationalization for their own advantages. All this to say, the fact that Andre Dickens and the city of Atlanta have not been held responsible for this is a damn shame. And we must see what they are trying to pull by having us, me, come to City Hall. They are engaging in performative activism by using us as props, as backdrops to prove that they're making a difference in the community by supporting our higher education and prisons program when the opposite is true. We must also consider that this is the same city council and mayor of Atlanta have straight up ignored us working class natives of the Atlanta/Metro Atlanta area with the Cop City project. They have even gone out of their way to ignore a grassroots petition to put Cop City on the ballot so us citizens can vote on if we want a Cop City in our backyards or if we don't want a Cop City in our backyards. Mind you, this is the same class of black people who rightfully complained about voter tampering concerning Stacey Abrams' run for the Georgia governor and have done the exact same thing to us. Here's a quote from Frederick Douglass's 1852 speech, "What to the slave is the 4th of July? The Negro is placed in a predicament where if he exerts himself, he is damned, and if he acquiesces, he is damned." They have removed our voice from the democratic process, and let's be clear, the city council and the mayor of Atlanta have shown us Atlanta natives they will set up fascist infrastructure through crafting a militarized Cop City in DeKalb County while simultaneously destroying the wildlife and indigenous importance of the Woolani Forest. Also, this fascist infrastructure will be federally used by Trump when he brings ICE to our areas with the help of Governor Kemp. We've already seen a glimpse of this with the Hyundai plant raid and how our neighbors have been terrorized by ICE in this very state. To root this in something historical, this is similar to President Barack Hussein Obama appointing Tom Homan as the Immigration and Customs Enforcement's Executive Associate Director of Enforcement and Removal Operations in 2013. Journalists have described Tom Homan as the intellectual father of the policy which separates children from their caregivers, which he outlined years before it was adopted by the Trump administration. In 2015, Obama awarded Tom Homan with a presidential rank award as a distinguished executive for being really good at separating children from their caregivers. I say all this to say the infrastructure he set up with Obama was used by Trump to increase far-right accelerationist policies on immigration that Tom Homan contributed to in the Project 2025 document. What we have here is the black bourgeoisie class setting up fascist infrastructure for people like Trump to use later on down the line. And that is exactly what will happen to Atlanta and the state of Georgia when ICE is federally brought down here again with the help of Governor Kemp. When my manager for the Andrew Young Center Higher Education and Prisons Program told our cohort to put on the Respectability Act and show up in a meeting last week, I ignored it and wasn't gonna show up. To be fair, they did tell us this so that we wouldn't wear sweatpants to City Hall, which is understandable. But as I was notified about this rally for Cornelius Taylor, I would like to say this today. I am here today for Cornelius Taylor instead of being used as propaganda for future mayoral and / political runs. As a black man from the Stone Mountain area, I know exactly what propaganda looks like. I grew up 10 minutes away from the largest Confederate memorial in the world. Let me repeat, not in Georgia, not in the United States, the entire world. At 4 to 5 years old, from the years of 2008 to 2009, I had to learn about the rebirth of the Ku Klux Klan on the mountain I love climbing on, and how the Daughters of the Confederacy created this carving by way of Confederate whitewashing. I empirically understand through my lived experience and critical research on the subject that we must root our understandings of what exactly has been happening in the city over the past 5 years and what people like Andre Dickens and the city council have shown all of us. We must not allow Morehouse College or the legacy of MLK to go against the principles of standing up for what's right, especially in the absence of a voice in the democratic process. You can stand with natives like me or not. However, it's times like this where I love to go back to Morehouse's tagline/mission statement. The decision you make to stand with us or stand against us will determine if you're a man of consequence or a man of subservience. Put Cop City on the ballot, and to Andre Dickens and the city council specifically, hear me clearly. Stop retreating into your black bourgeoisie tendencies and listen to the working class people of this city for once in your lives. We will always hold you accountable for the death of Cornelius Taylor and how you have contributed to the dehumanization of impoverished people in this city. Shame on you, and repent for your actions when you go to church on Sunday, because the Lord would not co-sign what you all have done to the working people of Atlanta. Thank you. Ashe. And then you spelled my name wrong. What the world? Good Lord. Lonnie Joseph White IV, LONNIE JOSEPHWHITE, the Roman numerals 1 and 5. 4. Get my name right. What's wrong with y'all?
Next is Shakira Bradley.
What's wrong with y'all?